Hi, I'm Simon Forrest, Principal Technology Consultant here at Futuresource. And as you can see, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, of course, at the NAB Show 2025. Now, we've been looking across all the different show halls here this week, trying to take, if you like, a barometer on the industry and understanding what's going on here at the moment and what the new technologies and trends are. And of course, it can't be helped to notice that there's a lot of talk about tariffs this week, with the documentation being A, voluminous, and B, very, very complicated. Nobody's quite sure how the impact is going to affect them. But of course, everybody knows that with tariffs as high as 25, 30, 40%, there is actually going to be an impact to most of the sector. Now, there is potentially one guiding light here, one saving grace, in that the software and services industry is probably the place that you want to be at the moment. There are no effective tariffs, as far as we're aware, on that particular sector. So if you're building software-based services or cloud-based services at the moment, you're probably more insulated from the tariffs than you would be if you're on the hardware-based ecosystem. Nevertheless, there are other ways of sort of working around, or rather creative ways that companies can sometimes work around the tariffs. In this instance, it may be more difficult because it's so wide-ranging. But an example I'll give is I used to work in the set-top box industry many years ago. And in order to avoid some of the higher tariffed items or the higher tariffs on the TV and broadcast sectors and the products that were going into those markets, the manufacturers would actually include a dial-up modem, would you believe? And so it was actually beneficial for them, even though there was an extra component on the board, to put that cost into the box in order for it to become classified as a telecommunications equipment rather than broadcast equipment. And that then helped that the tariffs were much lower on those types of products. So as I said, there may be other options for these manufacturers of studio equipment and cameras, but as I said, it's very, very early days and we're not quite sure on the full impact of that because, as I said, the supply chains are so wide and complicated. So we should be watching this very carefully at Futuresource and keep following us and our reports for more information.